The next inductee is Richard Strand. Richard graduated from MSU in 1970 with majors in physical education and math education. In 1970, he taught business education and coached 3 sports in Rose Creek, Minnesota, where his football team was 5-0 and league champion. In 1974 through 2002, he taught and coached at Consolidated District at Southland, where he compiled a record of 186 wins, 104 losses. He achieved 8 conference titles, 2 sections titles, 1 state championship in 1984, and earned several conference, section, district, and state coach of the year honors.
Believe me, this will be short. The one thing that all of the coaches up here have in common is that we were given the privilege, and a great privilege, of having parents and give their kids to us, trusting them to us. And everyone will contest that in coaching you get the greatest highs and the greatest lows that are imaginable. Curly's been there, we all have. It's not, winning is great. Nothing hurts more than losing. It's terrible, right? Especially, you get beat by 40 points, people say, oh my gosh, that must hurt. No, it doesn't. Getting beat by 1 run, 1 point on a last-second shot, that hurts. Now, Kay and I graduated the same year. We both went to southern Minnesota. And so I ran into her like as Wabasha and Southland were in the same conference. And the struggles that they had to go through to get girls' athletics to where the point is today, I think her and all the other coaches that pioneered should get another hand of applause. Everyone's introducing their family. There's a whole bunch of good-looking people here, but I have to tell you a story about my mother. Some of you have already heard this story, but it's kind of representative of communities in the whole. You always have some people that know everything. And
I can't hear you very well.
you don't want to. And so, anyway, they used to always come down to at least 1 game a year. And we never lost a football game that they came to. But these 2 guys were standing behind my mother, Alice, and my dad, Elmer, and of course cussing and swearing a little bit. So when the game was over, they knew that I couldn't get back to the house right away, so they were going to just sit in the bleachers. This guy's walking by, and he said, "Yes," she reached out and grabbed him by the arm. And she said, "I just want you to know, Elmer and I were 2 married when he was born." So I may be dumb, but not that. Yes, we look back to the things that we were allowed to do. And the most important one, again, is the relationship that you have with your players and your parents and the community. I was lucky because I taught in a community that was exactly like Mayville, Portland, where it was supportive. My son graduated from Mayville. He's in the same type of community in Barnesville. So we're fortunate, really fortunate. Kay and I were just talking, and most teachers and coaches get out of their schools because of their administration, or the parents are hard to get along with. I was lucky. I never had a bad administrator. I taught or coached 33 years. I had 3 phone calls from parents. I know if you coach girls sports, you're going to get 100 calls the first month because guys, they'll complain. The difference is, if your son comes home and he isn't getting to play, father will say, well, you should have been running more, why weren't you lifting weights? Blah, blah, blah. Now his daughter comes home crying, by God, I'm gonna fix this. Right? Different, we treat them different. Okay, and again, I wanna thank the committee, I wanna thank the community, and I wanna thank my family. We all stand up. There's by the way, Sydney right there in the pink. Stand up. Yesterday was her 8th birthday. The little one speaking up on the outside, that's Jake. And Michael, he just tied the state record in Minnesota for the most kick returns.
No, he's approaching it. Approaching
I
it.
only had one to go. We'll wait till he gets it. And of course, my mother, my Aunt Dorothy, and Margaret, my brother Arlie, Peggy, Andy McCarty, and his wife Karen, my daughter-in-law Meg, and now, closing, one more story. That family would not even be here if it wasn't for football. Football is the only reason that family's here. Andy and I coached together in the All-Star game and met each other in 1984. He had retired from Park Rapids and was teaching or coaching now in Monaga because he needed a football coach. And as a lot of you know, if you want a job, find somebody you know. So he asked, there was an opening in Monaga in business ed, right? Okay, and that's why I called Andy. Said, could you use an assistant coach? He said, I'll talk to him. He ended up talking to the superintendent and he got hired. Because he got hired because of football. There you go. Okay, thanks again to everybody. Appreciate it.